Hi, and welcome to Thinking PE. My name's Stacy Nelson. I'm an elementary Phi Ed teacher, and like most teachers, we kind of got thrown into creating some online lesson plans. Had to move from the gym or the classroom onto online lessons. And to be honest, when I first started, I was looking around online, and the PE community was fabulous. Amazing what these big companies were putting out, what the leaders in our community, the PE community, especially on Twitter, is where I looked. They did a fabulous job of getting stuff out there early and good quality stuff. The problem was for me, it was just too many ideas, too much going on, and bam, my brain just couldn't take it. I couldn't figure out where to start. There was just so many ideas. I didn't know if I was going to use a website, just to upgrade my website, or what I was going to do. Was I going to use Google Classroom? Was I going to just send out emails? Was I going to just put in our paper bag that I was going home to kids just a lesson plan? So I really went out there and was searching around, and I came across an idea, and I'm going to share it with you. The reason I'm putting this together, not because I got it all figured out, but because I mentioned it to a couple people, and I just watched them relax as I mentioned this idea, which relaxed me and helped me. And so as they were relaxing, a couple, like I said, more than one person, I just thought maybe I'll just toss this out there and see if it's helpful to anybody else. So take it or leave it, and feel free to discard it halfway through. You don't even have to get to the end, but if you like it, hopefully it'll help you out and pass it on to somebody else. So here's what I came across. Shout out to openphysed.org out on Twitter. I came across this, and though I didn't copy these lesson plans, these weren't where I was headed in my curriculum. It was the structure that really helped me, the different categories they used. And so what I did is I just took their categories, and it's not that they were magical, it's just that they kind of gave me an idea of, oh, if I have these concepts of things, it's going to happen each lesson. I can now plug things in as I find them on the internet, or as I find them on Twitter, or as I think of them, or what do I have to create myself? I know where to plug them in. So what I did is I just took theirs here, and then I made a list, and this is just a blown up spreadsheet over here. So I I just kind of duplicated what they had done, because I kind of liked where they had gone with this. So instead of the concept or focus, I use what's called a standard or benchmark, and that's where I needed to start. I needed to look at my benchmarks in Minnesota. We have our own. They're very closely aligned with the Shape America national PE standards. So I started there and said, what in my curriculum, what was I going to be heading towards? What haven't I covered yet? What do I need to go back and review? I was able to look at my overall block lesson plan for the year, and then that helped me narrow it down. So now I know what I'm going to start. And the sample lesson I'm going to give with you today is underhand throw. We had done it earlier in the year, but I really wanted to go back, especially with the younger kids, to review it. I was going to be doing some bowling in school and some other things like that. So now I had focus. I had the standard that I was going to work on. Then the academic language for me, that helped. That in that box, I'm just putting in the verbal cues. What am I going to focus on? Like for underhand throwing, I'm going to focus on two areas: stepping with the opposite foot and following through towards the target. Now you can teach a lot more about underhand throwing than that, but I'm going to focus there. So then the warm-up, the open home activity, that's where I'm going to plug in each time. I'm going to try to get some actual teaching skills in, where I'm doing some actual teaching. Throwing ideas out there to keep kids busy is fine, and I think I do that as well. But for a lesson, I'm allowed to give one 30-minute lesson a week, because that's our rotation. So for a 30-minute lesson, I'm going to have some teaching in there, and that's my focus here. And you'll see what I'm going to do as an activity as I share it here. But the daily fitness activity, that's where we get the heart rate up. Mindfulness is, in my mind, a cool down. Maybe yoga, stretching, different things. I can show them how to bring their body down and get it calm when it's worked up. And then the assessment part, I wanted to have a part of this lesson where there's a reflection and a connection. So for me, Google Classroom seemed to be the answer as I looked at this, because it allowed me to do all of these things and really create a structured lesson, not just feeling like I'm tossing ideas out. So that's kind of the format I went with. And then just quickly, here's what it looks like. One of my, and this is lesson number 2, is bowling, and it fits these standards and benchmarks in Minnesota. And here's my verbal language, the verbal cues I'm giving. And then the warm up, what I'm going to do, I found a warm up video that they do a nice job of warming students up and explaining why we're warming up. But prior to that, we had done some resting heart rate in class. So I'm going to make a short video that shows them how to, and reminds them, I guess, how to take their resting heart rate. I'm going to have them do that. Then they're going to do their warm up video, try to get their heart rate up over 120, and then check if they did. So past the post video, I'm going to make another video that shows them counting down for 6 seconds and seeing if they're up over 120. So there'll be 3 videos during the warm up. Pretty simple. Then they're going to do some bowling, build their own bowling set, their own bowling lane, and there are going to be some scoring in there. I'm going to leave it pretty loose and allow for a lot of creativity, but encourage them to do some things with math, maybe count backwards from 100 as they score, maybe make numbers on the cups. So integrating, but I'm not going to make that the focus. I'm going to really focus on having fun and, again, stepping with the opposite foot and following through towards the target. Now, some kids are going to be able to send me videos back. I'm not demanding that, but we're going to start and we're going to talk about it little bit by little bit. And maybe by the end of 6 weeks, we'll have a lot of kids showing videos of their skill, showing videos of what they built for a bowling lane, those types of things. So then we go down to fitness activity. It's just a Jedi Kids workout. Many of you have probably seen that workout. They did a fantastic job with that. But after that, again, I'm going to see what their heart rate is, see if they got it elevated into the, hopefully above, for sure, 150, and maybe even into the 180 or above area. The cool down is just, this video happens to be one where they're talking about getting your body under control in more of some yoga type activity. And then for the assessment, this is my time when I like to connect with them. We're going to make a Google form. They're going to fill in some answers from throughout the lesson, like what was their heart rate each time we checked it. They're going to reflect back on the home activity about bowling. What did they like? What they didn't like? How long did it take them to do this? So I get some feedback, and then I can then return this to them, and we can go back and forth with this activity log in the Google form. So that's why I like Google Classroom. It's going to allow for a little bit of contact, even though I have 670 kids. I'm not sure how this is all going to work, but the concept of what I was just showing you here is basically just to get it out. The categories that I have aren't written in stone. If you find something you like better, or we're actually finding that 30 minutes, we might have to eliminate some of these because it's just, that's just not enough time to do all these activities. So anyway, kind of going to just give you the basic concept. This is what it looks like in the full spreadsheet. This is why I really like it, because for me, here's the whole lesson. As I was creating it, when I made that resting heart rate video from over here, I plugged it right in here. Then here's the warm-up video, and then the post warm-up heart rate video is here. So I know I've got them all. When I didn't, and then I could see at a glance what I needed to work on, because otherwise it kind of can get overwhelming with putting this together. So for me, that really helps. And then just in a glance, I can work ahead 1 week or 2, and it seems to go really well. So again, if you're listening this long, thanks. Hopefully it was helpful to you. Just a few creative ideas, and really it's not, they really weren't all that creative. It's just something I stumbled across, helped me just get settled with some type of block lesson and get moving on it. And then it just seemed to click. The creativity started, and I could start creating videos. I could start making it personal. I could start interacting. So hopefully it works for you. I'm hoping you'll pass this on if it helps, or even better, add your ideas in the comments, or pass your ideas out on Twitter, whatever you need to do. Let's not forget, we're in this together, and hopefully we'll be back in the classroom soon. Over and out.